They pick one girl and one boy for the contract for the Paris Opera Ballet.
Light, légère.
She's testing you. She's torturing me too. Anyone who partners with Felipe will be the better dancer. He's the key to the prize.
Maybe you could help me.
Do you always follow the rules?
No.
Prove it.
Hi, Sarah. How are you?
Good. So nice to meet you.
It's so nice to meet you too. I loved the movie. I just have to say that.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm really excited to be talking to someone in Brazil.
Oh, that's great. I was a ballerine through a huge part of my life. So
wow.
I have to say that I was hooked in the first 5 seconds. To me, it was so beautiful, so conceptual. And I wanted to know from you, how did you manage to create this beautiful concept that we see in some of the dance scenes? Because to me, it was very nostalgic, but at the same time, very artistic. I really loved it.
Oh, thank you. I really wanted to start with character in this movie. So it's really a trial of these two young souls. And so all the dances were really just trying to be very specific to that emotional moment. And so I think there's a pretty big variety of the types of dance that you see in the movie. It's not just sort of one thing. There's traditional ballet, but then we also really break with tradition in a lot of places too. And I really wanted to look at that contrast between the rigid control of traditional ballet and the perfectionism with the chaotic, fluid, ever-changing nature of the jungle. And I wanted those two things to be always in contrast with each other in this movie.
That's great. And we see a little bit of a spark of Black Swan, but what I really love about the movie is that the story stands on its own feet. And I wanted to know from you, how did you manage to adapt the book in a way that you could be faithful to the story, but at the same time create your own personal movie?
Yeah, I tried to give myself a lot of freedom. So first of all, when you have a movie like Black Swan in the ballet world, that's such a high bar is already set. And I saw the movie when it came out and it was just, astounding, but I hadn't seen it again. And I decided I'm not going to watch it again until after I make my ballet movie, because I think that's just going to get in my head, So I actually haven't seen it since it came out, and I'm really excited to rewatch it. And actually not too dissimilar to the way I adapted the book. I read it once and just devoured it and really felt like I got the feel of the world and of the characters and the world of ballet. And I just allowed myself to start writing. And it had the support of the very gracious author, A.K. Smalls, who said, I could just take it and run with it, which was great. So it just became a jumping off point for me, rather than feeling like I had to be really beholden to the exact book.
And how challenging was it to shoot those dance scenes? Because they are really fast. And for me, as a former ballerina, we can see the movements. We can see the ballet shoes. It's all very, very touchy. I really love it.
I'm so glad. I'm so relieved as a former ballerina that we passed, because I have to say most ballet dancers, they're very critical of movies with ballet in them because they can see every single detail. And I'm not someone who comes from ballet, so I was really trying hard to deliver a movie that ballerinas and dancers would also like, and that we would pass at least the test as best as we could. But the dance scenes all took a lot of prep, and we wanted to have, room for surprise on the day as we were shooting and room to improvise. But at the same time, because we were working with two actors who are not formally trained dancers, we had to be really careful with the choreography and how we shot everything so that it could be believable. So it was great fun, and it was not dissimilar to shooting action scenes, actually, or fight sequences, where you're going to rehearsals and really planning your angles, and I love shooting fight scenes and action sequences, so it was just kind of felt like an extension of that in some way.
That's so great. And how was the process of preparation of the actresses? Because we have a lot of dance scenes and I love them. I just have to say, I love them.
Oh yeah, they're first of all, so Christine and Diana, neither of them had formal dance background, and they were thrust into just only 3 months of really intensive training. And I am so proud of what they were able to achieve, and they really, I think, do an amazing job of portraying these characters. And it wasn't just training their physical bodies to portray ballerinas, but it was really also giving them a chance to get inside the heads of their characters and understanding the kind of discipline it takes to be a ballet dancer. So it was the training was crucial, both from from the camera perspective, but also from the inside out for their own preparation as actors. And all the other parts in the movie, save for just a small handful, we cast real dancers who had never acted before. So that was also really fun because they were also coming to this project with a huge challenge of having to do something they hadn't done before. So I think it was great for Christine and Diana to be able to be the more seasoned actors and helping them out, and then the dancers being able to help Christine and Diana out with the dance.
And one thing that I really was thinking about while I was watching the movie is that how this story could develop in a TV show as well. We had some tries of TV shows about ballet, but none of them succeeded this far. But I really think that Birds of Paradise could have a really good TV show in Amazon. Have you thought about the idea? Do you have any plans for that?
I don't have any immediate plans, but I'm really open to it. And I agree. I think this is this particular setting of this ballet school in Paris, I think could make for a great TV show. So who knows? I'm open to it. Maybe you should go pitch it to him for me.
Yes, maybe. Let's hope so, right?
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi, girls. How are you?
Good.
How are you?
I'm great. I have to say that I loved the movie. I used to be a ballerina when I was younger. So to me, it was like I was hooked in the first 5 seconds. That's what I said to Sarah. So congratulations. You girls were amazing.
Thank you. And that means a lot.
It means a lot coming from an actual dancer.
I know, that means a lot. Since you know the world.
Yes.
It's so good to know that. And I wanted to know from you too, how was it, the whole preparation to become a ballerina? Because Sarah told me that you girls had 3 months of dance classes. It was something like that. Could you please walk me through that?
Yeah. It was strenuous. It was super demanding. Ballet is no joke. I mean,
as you know.
Yeah, it's like a lot of, not just private dance classes, but group dance classes, Pilates. Christina to do gyrotonics. There was yoga along with like lots of stretching, so many baths. I took so many baths. Like so many Epsom salt baths, like every single day. Just footwork with like the bands. I did a lot of band work, like for my feet, because I don't have really good arches naturally. Yeah.
She was always
like
carrying around her band.
I was like, my stupid arches, I need them to get better. And they were like, no one's gonna see your feet. And I was like, I don't care. Yeah, and then like we had 3 weeks of choreography in Budapest before we started filming, which was so much fun.
That was fun. Getting to do it together and getting
to
meet
we finally got
dancers.
to be together because we were training separately.
Unfortunately, she was in LA and I was in New York, so we were just sending each other videos here and there, but that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
So it's good to like have each other in person.
Yeah. It was really nice.
It's so nice. And did you guys get it hurt while you're preparing for the character or while you're shooting those dance scenes? Because we have some tough dance scenes, right?
Yes.
You during rehearsals, didn't you?
Yeah, the day before my first dance scene, I one of my ribs did something funny. And I was like, oh no. And it was in the gold room with Benjamin where I do that contemporary dance.
That's so beautiful.
And like every time they called cut, I'd like run in my bag and just like slobber like this like cooling gel on my rib because I was in so much pain. And Christine, you freaking her Romeo and Juliet, that was like all that was Christine.
That was a lot of falling. So that did hurt. A lot of bruises.
She was like bleeding everywhere. Like my God, this girl is so beautiful. Just amazing. incredible.
So you two went full ballerina mode, right? For this movie.
Tried.
We did our best,
Yeah.
as close as we could with the 3 months we had.
But ultimately, yeah, we had some help.
Yeah.
And to you too, what was so fascinating about this project? Because we see a little bit of Black Swan in the movie, but at the same time, this is a story that stands on its own feet, which I loved. So I wanted to know for you too, what attracted you two for this project?
I mean, the themes that we go through, I was really interested in exploring the themes of, how humans cope with like loss and tragedy and what that does and how you can grow
Sexuality.
from that. Sexuality, awakening, female friendships and dynamics and competition. And then
Yeah.
I think we both were, when I can speak on your behalf, but I was really intrigued to just explore the dance world and my own body.
Yeah. I mean, everything Christine said, and like adding on to that, the theme of redemption too. That like their forgiveness is always an option. Like
Yeah.
it's there, you know. It's just like finding within yourself finding the strength in yourself and the courage to forgive yourself and people you love when they hurt you.
Blood, money, it's all that matters.
Greatness has a price. Do you agree?
Sweet night, be white, red, oh my